came back from feeding Mama, decided to get sandwiches, found some weird eggs that seemed to contain these strange jelly-like creatures, and one exploded in Aranoa's hand before Tower had come back with the sandwiches, who had also encountered some weird happenings with a patron inside the sandwich shop. That is where we left it, standing in the street, and that's where we are.
Please, we must go back and help this woman. It's a whole thing.
What is it that's crawling out of this egg?
What?
You said it burst, didn't you? It cracked open? Or
and then
is there...
you had that thing had hatched in a box, and it tried to get away, but you grabbed it, blew up in your hand like
okay.
Like one of those jelly toys.
Yeah, now I remember. Okay. Yes, and they're like the gel tube things from our childhood.
That picture is right there on Discord, exactly how they look.
Ow.
Now I just shake my hands, try to get as much of it off as I can.
Is the thing that is crawling there, does that look similar to what I saw? Like, those are the same thing, right?
There's no longer anything crawling, there's just goo.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I grab some of the shell to bring with me?
Sure.
Did the person birth an egg first, or did a full creature come out of them?
I believe it was a mammalian birth, a full live birth.
Huh. We have two oddly similar things happening at the same time. All right, yeah, let's go. Oh.
And yeah, I rushed back in to the sandwich shop and point out where the creature ducked around the corner. And is the situation very similar to how we left it? I don't actually remember.
No. People have kind of dispersed that area. You can see that someone's in the process of cleaning up the mess on the floor, as it was a walking hazard, is the words I'm trying to get out. And you also see an individual who's about 10 feet from where the incident proper was, kind of knelt down, finger in some goo, and kind of inspecting its viscosity. They seem to be older, like an older human man. They have wispy white hair and thick-rimmed glasses. They're wearing a tweed jacket and slacks, and they carry a battered leather satchel full of notebooks, instruments, and samples. That is what you see hovering over the area that I just mentioned.
Excuse me, I say to them.
I do think I have a picture for this as well, but why wouldn't I give it to you?
You seem interested in this situation. Do you happen to have more information that could help us out? We're trying to help that person.
It worked. There they are. Did it work? Yes, it did. As you kind of approach them, and they're deeply intent on the viscosity of this goo, and you see that you've kind of startled them slightly as they turn to you. Hello. I did not see you there. My apologies. My name is Professor
Maurice
Jasper Maddox, cryptozoologist, biologist. Excuse me. I forgot your question.
Do you know what's going on, and can you help out this person?
Person?
The person that gave. I don't know where they are now. They're not here. I say to Tower.
Tower
you do not
around.
See them.
No, that is a quick recovery period. Although it was a strange birth.
Birth? That's very odd indeed. It was my understanding that an old woman slipped on the floor, but birth, that does not go with my findings at all.
Tower, well, birth is kind of an odd way of saying it, but there was a creature there, and then there were two creatures there, and it seemed to emerge from where younglings emerge from on humanoids. And I describe exactly what I saw. Without, using the word birth, I put it together.
Right. I'm sorry. I think she just slipped, honestly.
I seem to have been mistaken.
Well, we did find these shiny eggs. Is that a part of it?
Oh, marvelous. You found more. May I see them?
I assume we.
No, we just have one that's that hatched and then exploded. And I have a little bit of the shell here.
Quite all right. And he's going to reach out his hand to take the shell piece if you'll give it to him.
Sure.
We did see more though, right?
Yeah, and we kept them, right?
Okay.
I think so. I'm pretty sure we found 3 and 2 were still unhatched. Or am I misremembering? Or they were like different colors or something.
They were indeed different colors.
Did we keep them though? Did I write them in the? I didn't.
I
write
don't
them
have anything on my sheet, so I don't know.
I mean, that was a weird transition between episodes. I think we can probably say that we kept them.
Well, that's your decision because you had put them in a crate.
Oh, we put them all in the
alley.
crate. I definitely would have grabbed the crate and brought it with me.
Okay.
And I would have, when I saw this guy snooping around, I would have tucked that somewhere away.
Okay. But you're gonna let him see the shell?
Just the shell, yeah, that I have in my
He's going
hand.
to bring it close to his glasses there. Incredible!
What is
He's going to
it?
begin scrawling in a little notebook that he has next to him. That is the very question I have been trying to figure out. And he's going to look around the sandwich place. Everybody's looking
Well,
around.
what do you already know?
Perhaps we can find a place more quiet for our discussions.
We do have sandwiches to eat.
My sensors indicate that it is dangerous typically to go to a second location with a stranger, but I think we can make ourselves.
As I've already introduced myself, I am Sir Jasper Maddox, and let us be
Not a
acquaintances
stranger,
and no
then.
longer strangers.
Indeed. Sandwiches, and I like to watch them eat. So
Well, should we give up on trying to find the non-birth fallen into 2 people person?
well, apparently I was just mistaken, and it was an old lady who just slipped in some slime.
Why do you think they just fell? What was his name again? Jasper?
Jasper, I believe it was Jasper.
Well, you see, when an individual loses traction, there's nothing to grip their balance.
But
and
did you
therefore
see
the food
something
will
that-
slip out from under them?
Did you see something that made you think that they fell instead of what my friend saw with their own eyes?
Oh, testimonial. And of course, you found an egg already that would certainly take away from the mammalian side of things, would it not? Therefore, one
What
can
if
only...
the egg fell out of her and hatched at the same time? I just think, can I do an insight check on him to see, like, just a bullshit meter? Because I feel like,
Sure.
why the fuck would this guy know anything? I'm not going to believe him over Tower.
Sure.
Also,
This
can we
guy.
tell, and if I need to inspect more, I will, can we tell if this goop is the same as the goop that
Yeah.
exploded out of the thing?
It does look... It's the exact same group, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there does not appear to be any shell in the vicinity, unless your friend cleared it when they encountered the situation.
No.
Only this, so from what I understand, perhaps the contents therein slid itself across the floor.
That is what I really... I definitely saw that. Whatever emerged from this woman, or perhaps from a shell near the woman's feet as she landed, definitely slid across the floor and around that corner in Tower.
Oh, well,
Corner.
we should go after that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Is it dangerous? Not that that really stops us, but what do you know about it?
And you can see that people in the shop there are starting to stop and stare and wonder what the heck's going on.
She is right. We are causing a scene.
Well, we
Perhaps-
can go follow it on our
Shopping?
way.
Okay.
What's the scene?
Not to the tavern. How about just outside around the corner where prying eyes aren't around? Don't want a situation on our hands.
All right.
And he's going to like collect awkwardly the stuff. You can see he's got a lot of things on him. Big satchel overflowing with papers and booklets, and a big tool utensil things that don't make sense.
You
And
could
he's going to...
store some of that on my Steel Defender while we travel.
Oh, no, thank you. It's quite all right. I'll carry it myself. And you see him like saunce out the door and kind of take a right towards where you've already seen, like, there's a space between where built like a little alley spot there. It's kind of out of sight of prying eyes.
I follow the strange man into the dark alley.
And he will stand there waiting for everyone to join him, assuming that is something that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
Excellent. As I said, I am Professor Maddox, zoobiologist. It's my specialty to unravel the science of the unexplained, the mutated, the obscure, and I have been following this for quite some time, I must admit. But today is the day. It's never been like this before. I've seen 1 or 2 eggs, possibly, but they're all over the city today. Something
you've
is
seen
happening.
more?
Indeed. Based on my findings with the scoop and the eggs, and eyewitness accounts of the creatures in question, of which you have seen, I believe we are dealing with an ancient religious icon, therefore known as Ustahase. Have you ever heard it?
No.
I seriously doubt it.
I'm assuming no.
Yeah.
Folklore's creature spreads eggs around and takes over villages and eats children, that sort of thing.
Oh.
Again,
do a religion check on this one?
it's not any of the religions you're familiar with.
Like, I can't say I'm particularly familiar with this nonsense.
Creature, mostly bipedal, mammalian to some extent, though it lays eggs. It's very strange indeed. Tends to be subterranean in nature.
Some sort of bizarro platypus.
I've never seen one myself, so perhaps.
I've only heard in books. That's a lie. Justice heard in books once.
I am quite concerned on the timeline, as if we're not careful, this city will be overrun. Assuming I'm right, and that's what we're dealing with here.
How many
Sounds
eggs
like
does
we're on
one
a
lay?
egg.
I'm sorry, I can only listen to one person at a time. Old age.
How many eggs does one lay?
I wouldn't be able to even guess. 4 dozen, 3 dozen, 6 dozen.
Dozens.
This is crypto science. It's not exactly perfect.
Now, you've said that word a few times, and I'm not entirely sure what that means. Science?
Yes. How can I explain it to you? A match. Indeed. When you strike a match, it's a piece of wood coated in sulfur and other compounds, and when friction, and he starts rubbing his hands together, rubs very quickly on the surface, creates heat, it ignites the match, and there's fire.
You are speaking my language. When you make a match,
Indeed.
and you make friction with the match, and it's very hot. I understand.
That's science, basically. Science is many things. We don't have time for this, honestly. We should really be finding this creature's, this thing's den.
More later, yes.
Right.
All right, well, you got any idea where the hell we find this thing?
Well, as I said, it's a subterranean creature mostly.
And when we do find it or the eggs, we should exterminate it?
Oh, most definitely. It would be very dangerous to be carrying them around or keeping them. These things can hatch at any moment.
I do a quick glance to Arana.
Sorry, I meant to ask before it came up again, but it's been story time, so I've been enjoying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The bag of holding, if I were to have put them in there, would they break?
If you were to put them in a bag of holding, they break. I don't think so. I don't really think that's how bags of holding work, really.
Cool, then she would have done that, and when Shral looks at her, she's just gonna put her hand on the bag at her side and kind of turn a little bit away.
I'll turn back to the oh shit, Jason? That doesn't sound right.
Jasper.
Jasper.
Close, same first 3 letters.
And what would happen if if there were some eggs left, not exterminated.
The creature's territory would expand, number one. Over time, mutated offspring may become more numerous and aggressive. Probably start eating the inhabitants of the city.
Oh,
Have you actually
Right.
seen this happen before? Or are you just speculating?
I feel very confident in my hypothesis.
So it sounds like we might need to do some science and keep one so that we could do an experiment or two, right?
I do like the sound of this science, making friction to create heat. That sounds good to me.
Under some eggs, right?
Yes, the
And
science
usually
of
I find that
spontaneous
those
combustion,
fertilize.
also known as ultimate evocation.
I love it.
do the eggs taste good when you heat them up?
So much
don't know.
science to do.
Maybe with a bit of cinnamon.
Hmm.
As a man of Anubis, this concept of keeping one of these things alive scares and confuses me.
Honestly, it doesn't sound like a great thing to me either. It just sounds very dangerous.
Well, maybe we should go after the live one first,
Mhm.
and then find all the
Definitely.
eggs.
We should definitely go for the source first,
Yes.
I think.
Is there still a trail that we can follow?
Well, we'd have to go back into the sandwich shop to do that. Are you going to join us?
Oh, I thought we were following a trail around the corner.
I would be remiss if I did not admit that my curiosity is piqued. Though I may follow at a distance, a safe distance, if it's possible.
We could also come back
Um,
and check with you at the sandwich shop if you want to just wait there.
I'll be honest, I would like to see it with my own eyes.
Well,
We
we're
cannot
not
turn-
responsible for keeping you alive.
No.
I was going to do the same thing.
I understand. I will say that the goo is gone. That was in the sandwich shop. It's being cleaned up while you're in there, but or does remember the path
Sure.
the creature
sure.
took. Like, that's not in question.
Can we ask if anyone saw where it went? Not the
Tower did.
creature that hatched. No, the the one that dropped the egg, gave birth, whatever, whatever the fuck happened.
Okay, can we get just a quick explanation of what Tower actually literally saw?
Tower
One more
heard,
time.
like an old woman gasped. They turned and saw them on the floor. The goo was on the floor towards the back of the sandwich shop, and they just caught the tail end of a creature kind of going around, one of those slime creatures.
She
Going
was on
around
the
the corner.
floor. Which way was she facing?
Like
Was she
head
facing towards the goo or away
head-
from the goo?
head towards the exit? The goo was going towards the back of the establishment.
So legs towards the goo. Yeah,
Yes.
vagina pointed at the goo. Is
Was
really
there
what we're
any
talking
disturbance to her
In-
clothing?
In theory.
That's hilarious.
So looking back on the situation, it could be as Professor Jasper says, and she was not involved whatsoever. It just really seemed that way to me.
Oh, okay.
Well, she was certainly involved. She just may not have
Well,
been first.
Sure. That being said, I do not know where the egg materialized from. Perhaps she was carrying it before it hatched.
What if she tripped on it?
Perhaps, yes, that could be a thing. There's any number of reasons that she could be involved, but not necessarily the
Yeah.
mastermind. But maybe, perhaps, one never knows.
Hard to say.
So,
It's right around the corner here. Let's go.
Yes.
And Tower leads them back into the sandwich shop and to the place where he knew it to have been. And if we see anyone along the way, perhaps we can ask them if they saw one of these things.
well, you're
And-
going to see a worker because
Yeah.
from my understanding, you're trying to get to beyond a door that is personnel only. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Went
yep.
around the side of a corner of a counter.
Mhm.
Oh, this whole time when you say around the
Yeah.
corner, I'm thinking the outside of the shop.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same here.
Think about
Got
being
it.
inside a subway. Think about being inside a sub and
Yeah.
this goo trail
No, I get it now.
went around the side of
Mhm.
a sandwich bar and then like it's either behind the counter or maybe escape somewhere else. But there is like a door back there to like a kitchen area where sandwiches are actually like.
When you're
Stuff is
getting
prepped.
your sandwich, the last thing you would want is a slug cat creature in your lettuce.
Yeah, sorry if that wasn't clear, but it was inside. Yeah.
It's just a weird transition from episode to episode.
Yeah. We
Yeah, I
have,
know.
like, no memory from last time.
Imagine
Yeah,
what
it's
it's going to
been
be
a
like when
while.
we go back to the other one.
Right.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I feel like I remember stuff from that one better. I don't know.
I mean, you may as well do a time skip though. Like, it's been 3 years. You've done this.
No.
Yeah,
I know
fair.
exactly where we are. Fine.
There. Anyway,
Something not
I do too, because we're
something
about to
violent.
go to where I'm from.
right.
That being said, that's a totally different world. We're in this world, and you will be stopped by what looks to be a furbolg gentleman, perhaps, hair tied back in a net. Excuse me, can I help you?
Here, perhaps you may be able to flash a badge or something.
I will show what Mark might have some say in this in a place. I will. Well, let's see. We're going to pull out the sheriff's badge, the sign of Anubis. Legal Tefo. We think something might have come by through here.
Oh, didn't realize we were having an inspection today. Okay.
Yeah, we think we might have seen something come through here that might be, strictly speaking, some sort of a violation.
Right.
Who cleaned up the goo that was around here? That's
Me.
a technical term. Where all did it go?
To the door here, and a little down the stairs to the cellar where we keep good cheese. But other than that,
well, it
Close.
seems like we need to go and check out down where it might have gotten into the cheese. We don't want contaminated cheese, you know.
nope, it's pretty expensive. It's imported. Okay, well, let me know if I can be of any help. I'll be here making sandwiches.
Are you the only sandwich artist on duty today?
Oh, no. But Brevin is on lunch, so it's just me right now.
And did you see the slip and fall that happened here just a few moments ago?
Saw the lady on the ground. But I was making a cordon bleu chicken sandwich. Well, that takes up a lot of my attention because it's very delicate, so I didn't see her slip and fall.
That is very fair. And I wish you the best of luck in making all your other sandwiches. My friends tell me that your business does terrific work.
The goo was gross. I wouldn't put it on a sandwich like an aioli.
Oh no.
You ate it?
No, that's what I mean.
Okay.
We were just wondering how much of an experience you had with it to get to the gross.
Yeah, but you know.
Touch and
You do
odor
you.
mostly.
Fair enough. Well, we are going to, as you say, follow that trail that led down the stairs and try to protect the good cheese.
Okay.
And so we do.
It's just a short, like, 5 to 10 foot staircase that goes down into like a dark cellar area. Currently lit, candles lit because they were down there recently, and you can in fact see some icebox areas, other dry goods storages, some wine barrels.
Do we see a streak on the ground that looks to be freshly cleaned?
You would have seen that at the stair area, but you can go ahead and make an investigation check in this area if you'd like to.
Oh man, do I want to do that?
I'm saying that to
looking
the
pretty
party
close.
that's here.
Yeah. Maybe I'll help Aaron Noah look pretty close.
Oh, that was only once. Sorry.
Looking around the space, you don't see any goo around here, and but what you can see towards the center is a slight groove in the ground. The ground here, this is like an earthen floor, actually. I should tell you what's in my head when I have it in my head. You can kind of see that something with a little bit of weight has kind of pushed a little bit of a dusty groove. And you can just make it out in the center of.
Is it leading up to something? Or just to the center of what?
It kind of stops when you get towards a couple barrels that are probably about 4 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide.
How big is the groove?
Good, probably 4 inches wide.
Is that bigger than the one that that had already hatched?
Like, it looks like it's hard to know based on this how big. That's about the size of a little bit bigger than the creature that hatched, probably.
Okay.
But the length of this now, it looks like a snake, but that could be for any reason. That could just be the travel.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You say it goes to some barrels? I guess do the barrels have lids?
They do.
I guess I'll open up one of them.
Okay.
Howard takes a few steps back from this and keeps an eye kind of on the whole of the room, looking for ambush of any type. While that's
Once
going
my blade comes out.
Opening up one of the barrels in front of you takes a little bit, but you're strong enough. You pry the lid up, and inside you can see there's some sort of like the smell of like vinegar hits your nose first. But it is kind of dark in here, so it's not exactly easy to see what you're dealing with in here.
Is there any light source in
There's
the room?
the light, the walls towards where like the staircase is. There are some candles that are lit there for lighting purposes, so you don't trip down the stairs. But it is fairly cool and dark in here, just because I don't want things to spoil.
Can I kind of tilt the barrel so that the light goes inside of it? You know what I mean? Or do I have to physically move it towards the light area to get light inside?
They're fairly heavy and
I can get out
unruly.
my glass orb with gub juice in it.
Indeed, you can.
Does that help? Can we see
Well,
better now?
It's a light source.
Mhm.
If you're using that to look in, based on the light of the gub juice, it's doing one of those weird CW effects where the colors are off because there's a filter now.
Mm-hmm.
So that blue light is kind of making the contents within here look sort of purplish. It seems to be a fairly thin liquid of some kind.
There's no creature inside that I can see.
No creature inside. See,
Well, I'll do the same to the next one then. I'll keep doing
and
that.
there's like 3 barrels in this corner that you're kind of inspecting. And as you lift these lids and inspect, they all seem to be the same contents.
Straw is opening these and not paying attention to the ones that they don't see anything in. Tower's discreetly moving behind them and closing each barrel as they're done with it.
Okay.
And then not finding anything there, I guess I'll just move them kind of aside from where they were sitting to see if there's any holes or anything underneath
Great.
or
Just make
behind.
a strength check, and someone can help you if they want. But to try to just see how well you are able to maneuver these 3 barrels out of the way. Like I said, they're pretty unruly, but it's not you. Even if someone doesn't help you, you wiggle these things pretty well out of the way, and it isn't long before you do see more goo stemming from that trail area and on the sides of these barrels, and it disappears in what looks like a really decent sized hole in this wall, kind of angled downward. From this vantage point, you don't really see an end to it. It looks to be about 6 feet in diameter.
What?
Oh,
Wait, yeah.
The hell is
Wow.
Pete was just hidden behind some barrels?
That's an employee fucking up and not wanting to do it. Nope, not my job. Let's not
Yep.
this.
Cover that shit up. Like a wall
Not
of
my
barrels.
circus, not my monkeys.
Because the groove was only 4 inches wide,
Right.
when you said the hole, I was thinking, like, slightly larger than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a foot. No, this is way better.
No, it looks like you could fit in there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So we would have noticed
Like a
the
fucking
whole.
Somebody just put a
After-
fucking picture of Marilyn Monroe over it.
It's
But-
angled.
like,
Just
it's a
for
big.
clarity's sake,
Yeah,
it's angled lower,
sure.
so like you don't see it. It's not like it's like
Right.
The barrels
It's
are
not
obscuring
completely
it,
on the
and-
side
yeah.
of the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like maybe there's like a tapestry or something over it with the barrels.
it's going
kind
into
of
the
on
ground.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it wouldn't take long, but now that you've been able to actually move barrels, then you see it like right away.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh God.
When we are done with this, we should absolutely check every piece of food in here for eggs, at the very least.
Every nook and cranny.
Every nook and cranny, Paranoia. Yes, every nook and cranny. Once we're done.
Are we
Sufficient
going in the
quantity of
hole?
nooks and crannies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when I see a hole, I tend to go.
Oh, really?
Why is this robot so horny now?
They've been for
Can
a
I
while.
teach a robot how to love?
It's a little bit, yeah.
Why did Shaw get so formal all of a sudden? Too?
We always put a little bit of ourselves in our character, don't we?
What? Don't know what you're implying. I do, and it's accurate, and I'm fine with it.
I'm just being playful. Cool. What you want to do?
I can go in the hole.
Investigate the big gaping hole.
Tower pops fat bottom girl. And,
Curiosity is going to
And goes
kill
in the hole.
Curiosity is going to kill the cat a little bit here, and you will see Professor.
I forgot he's with
Maddox.
us.
He's over at a barrel, and his finger is in this liquid here, and he's going to put it to his mouth.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
Can I wait? Do I have that prepped? Fuck. I don't. Never mind.
I had to be sure. Raspberry vinaigrette, if you're curious. Delightful.
I mean, you could have ordered a sandwich, and now I feel like we might need to throw away that whole barrel. I don't know. I don't know what the.
And when was the last time you washed your hands?
Oh, moments ago. I hate germs.
Before we go in, do you know what kinds of things it's susceptible to? Like an easy way to kill it?
I have not had the pleasure of studying its physiology at a distance close enough to figure that information out. I'm sorry.
The one that I caught in my hand did that.
Mm-mm.
It was like with pressure that it exploded, right? That I like squeezed it and it burst, or what?
A little, yeah. It also seemed like incredibly malformed from,
Oh, okay.
It seemed very undercooked.
Tower turns to the sheriff and kind of quietly whispers, "Is my lexicon incomplete, or does this gentleman seem to just be making up words at random? Germs? Germs? Do you know what he means?"
Who did you
Well,
say that
to the sheriff, right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I said that to the sheriff.
What role do I make for?
You know what germs are, silly.
Okay, fine, whatever.
I was talking to the sheriff. I don't care if Tower doesn't.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. What did he say to me?
Perfect.
You know what they are.
Oh yeah, like things that make things go bad, right?
Like evil.
It's
Things
like,
that make you go yuck.
it's like I pull out my flask and it's like I keep some antiseptic on me.
Tower just kind of wanders away.
Like dirty.
I know what dirty is.
There you go. God,
Germs
it's
are-
dirty.
Dirty and evil.
Tower's gonna be Howie Mandel, but
Okay.
Well, I'll
I'm
pull
done
out my hooded lantern and get that going to go into the hole.
Is the hole quite straight, or is it quite
it's-
curvy?
At this point, you can tell it is angling down.
I have a long range of like dark vision, so
Okay.
can I see like 120 feet down the hole, or is
No.
it like too curvy to see it as it angles
Well,
down?
especially angling down, it's not going to be a straight shot. It's going to go about 50 feet, and then it's going to start to taper away. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yep.
Should we like tie ourselves up with pitons and rope and stuff? Make sure we don't slide away.
That is a fantastic idea. Do I have?
I have
Is it that
10.
deep?
Oh, I got rope.
I got 10 pitons.
Yes, please.
I install them.
Is there a beam or something? Or I guess we could tie it around one of the barrels. Those are pretty heavy.
I mean, yeah, this area, it does have beams. It's like the sub-floor area, you know.
Should we
Probably
tie?
costs like 10 feet of rope to get a good enough knot around something like that and have it reach the hole.
Well, I guess we're gonna run out of rope quickly, though.
Yeah.
I think if we are tied together, that might be enough to save one of us if they fall.
All right.
And hope that we don't get into a situation where too many of us fall and pull the rest down.
Oh my goodness. I'm not
Get
very
all
strong, you
tangled.
guys. I'm not strong at all. Can we have, like, Steel Defender up here anchoring things?
I am also quite strong. I will serve as secondary anchor. And perhaps...
So,
Yeah, I think you should maybe lead, then the stronger people be in the back.
Sure. I guess, yeah.
so I understand what you're doing. You're going to go into this hole. You're daisy chaining, but you have you're not tying it off on the end. You're tying it. You're relying on.
No, we're tying off still, but then they're also there to provide muscle. Was my thought.
I
Well,
just
no, we're
don't
gonna
think we
run
have
out of
enough
rope.
rope. Yeah.
That's why we need
Let's see,
to just
how much
rely on
do I
that.
have?
That's what I was
We
saying.
could tie 2 ropes together.
I thought that was you saying you weren't going, Tower.
Huh?
I misunderstood what you said then.
Yeah. I said
Never
we
mind.
should tie us each to each other, all to each other, like in a daisy chain, as was said. That way, in case one of us does fall.
No, I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. You said something. The last thing you said was something about that you would stay up and be an anchor as well. But I understand now you meant just at the top of the rope, not at the.
Right, because we can't leave we can't leave one end of the rope here with anybody. That's we don't have enough rope for that. So the whole of the rope will have to travel with us the whole of the time.
Okay.
I mean, we could tie it. I got 75 feet, so we could tie it up here and see how far it gets us, but
I'm not carrying any rope myself.
I got. What do I
Ooh.
got?
And explorer's pack. Oh, I do have hempen rope. I think it comes with 50 feet.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
I have 310 feet of hempen rope. What?
310?
No way. Why would that be? What?
Well, in that case,
Imagine
we're good.
carrying that much rope.
that what? I don't even know how that happened. That makes no sense. I think I'm gonna change that to 50 and assume that's what it was with my Dungeoneer's pack.
That's the standard, I think, of one thing of
You sure you
rope.
didn't buy more rope for some reason? and went
That
ham?
much though? I don't know.
And specifically 310?
Yeah.
I mean, you
And
could
you
have
guys-
used some at some point.
Yeah. You guys have a bag of holding, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we stock up on rope.
Space.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 310 feet of rope, y'all.
Well, in that
Okay,
case.
in that case. Yeah.
Well,
We can just tie it off and hold it and as we go on and use it that
Yeah.
way.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to expedite this moment a little bit because with all that involved, I pre-wrote down how much distance you needed the rope for, and I told you that you needed 10 feet to tie it to something and still reach the hole. And the number I wrote down that you needed in the hole was 300. So you have just enough rope.
Holy
Well,
shit.
no,
Yeah.
we have
And then,
more in the
yeah.
group, but yeah, that is
That's
hilarious.
Right. I'm
fantastic.
just saying.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that one rope will work out perfectly in this specific case. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some shit just comes together.
Is it in one continuous rope too, or is it?
Certainly.
I'm gonna say
sections of
yes.
15?
Yeah.
No, it's a 300-foot rope. Why not?
Yeah.
Damn, I love it when a plan
Never
comes
know
together.
when you need a really long rope.
And you did.
Yeah, here we are. The day came.
So
We're using it.
instead,
They
allow me
called
to
us
just
mad.
describe this descent, which, as you make your way down, you can tell immediately that this hole, though, as I said, 6 feet in diameter, is not, what's the word I'm looking for? It is not a perfect hole. You can see all kinds of strange groove marks as you descend. And it is completely uneven. Sometimes it goes up a little bit. Sometimes it comes back down. Sometimes it goes down quite a ways. All the while, you can see those of you. Where would you have put the professor in this mix as you descend? I heard that Steel Defender is in the back. I heard that.
No,
Tower
Steel
was in the back.
Defender's. I don't think Steel Defender's coming with us. I meant Steel Defender was gonna literally be up there helping hold the rope, like
Got
just
it.
a secondary anchor to hold it.
Sure.
Well, now I don't think it matters if the strength's in the back as much.
Right.
Who's
But
leading
also-
this rope hold or this descent? Who's going first?
I'll go up front.
Okay.
with
But
my-
you're strong, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter at this point because it's all anchored well in the back at this, so it doesn't really.
Okay.
It's not what we're worried about.
I'm strong. I can be in the back. That's what we're worried about.
Okay.
It's probably good to have someone strong on either end.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's not me.
And I got
Who's
the
after-
long dark vision.
Who's after Tower?
Me,
And who's after Aranoa?
Professor,
Shoot.
or
Well, I'll go.
Okay, so Professor is in the back with Shaw, between Flint and Shaw. Just
Yeah.
so we know. Okay, so yeah, as you go down, and you can see him, Shaw and Flint both. He is feverishly like making little sketches in a book and like writing. How very interesting, you know. It appears this is hand carved. And as you finally reach the bottom of your rope, you can see now the hole almost comes to an end, as you can tell that there seems to be it expands beyond this portion, this end portion that you're reaching. And if you'd like to go through that, you may, but you'll probably have to leave the rope behind you.
Yes, I do. And I look around, and I want to see what I see down here as it expands in front of me. It's the world's
expanse,
wonder under the.
You can see that this opens up into a bigger tunneled area. It's actually more comfortable and leveled, like almost flat enough to walk, no longer descend. The first thing you notice is that the walls here are lined with sporadic pockets of egg clusters, multicolored eggs along the walls. You can also see small little holes in the ceiling along the sides, also kind of lining this area, and this hole continues on. Looking down the tunnel tower with your dark vision, you can see that it goes another 75 feet and then takes like a sharp right, or curved right, I should say, not exactly sharp.
And the whole way, the whole 75 feet lined with the eggs.
You can definitely see like cat eye shimmers that are just little egg clusters.
How big is this opening now? Roughly?
Just a little bit bigger, but not by much. But it's a more comfortable space, I would say.
This looks like it continues quite a way, and I think it might be prudent to map the whole of what we can find, but there seems to be many exits.
The last thing I would say as well is that tower, as you look at that curvature pathway, you can see a light pulsing beyond it. And I guess the rest would too. A dull pulsing glow is happening around that corner.
Did the object glow that Aranoa held, that hatched?
Now, well,
Or creature, I should say.
not like this. Not like this, I'd say.
We should all definitely be quiet and maybe all move together another 30 feet forward or so. But sure, can you do the mind bond thing? I don't really understand your bit.
I proceed to rail spike the rest of the party for, please hold, 2 hours.
Okay.
And in your heads, you hear, so I can scout ahead and let you know what I see, and
Did you include the
quietly
professor?
come back.
You can't, right?
Oh, right. You cannot include the professor. I'm just asking who you include. The party proper, right?
Yeah, can't get the professor in. It's precisely enough for the party.
Absolutely.
And out.
Positively.
out loud and quietly, Professor, we are going to ask that you remain still and very, very quiet. It is very possible that we are in grave danger as of this moment. I'm going to look ahead.
On the down low. Sorry?
And Tower proceeds to stealth on ahead.
Okay, just make I know I see the time, so we'll wrap it up pretty quickly, but go ahead and make a stealth roll.
For sure, I have it.
Do all of us need to, or
Well,
or you're just going up
this
ahead?
is in particular.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, pain.
Oh.
Okay, making your way down this tunnel. Do you want to?
I am usually so good at this.
As a piano drives by.
Do you want to go around the corner of this tunnel?
Yeah,
See
yeah.
what that is? Okay.
Mhm.
Immediately, what you see as you do that is, excuse me one moment, there we go. You can see etched into the walls of this cave where it's no longer dirt. It is, but there are parts that are exposing this smooth, black, obsidian-like, familiar material. And on one of these exposed areas, you can see this glowing etched symbol on what could possibly be a wall. It's hard to say. It is a intricate and complex series of interconnected lines and shapes that seem to shift and move the life of their own. They look very old in terms of trying to figure out how recent they were made.
And in trepidous mind ways, Tower relays that back to the group.
And being this close in proximity to it, I would say that it almost makes you feel ill, this pulsing.
Is that a feeling Tower is familiar with?
Oh, yes.
In the party had felt it before. And I guess that would be a nice place to stop.